Welcome back to episode 21 of Defeating Weekly. I'm your host, Craig Olson, author of Defeating the Unbeatable. Thank you for checking this out, and please share it with others if you appreciate these episodes. Additionally, if you've missed any of the previous episodes, you can go check out the Defeating Weekly channel on YouTube. This week, we are going to be jumping right in and discussing the idea of adversity. So adversity is defined as a state of hardship, difficulty, or misfortune that one deals with in life. This past week was a challenging and difficult week for myself as Tasha was at conferences in Chicago and Scottsdale, so I was at home with the boys, which really isn't normally too big of a deal. They're pretty good, and Tasha usually spoils us and has all our meals prepared for us, so it makes it even easier on myself. However, Sunday night, got to have some difficulty come into it. I was woken up by our older son who had just told me he was sick. And so I had to go down and clean up that mess while I'm still groggy and cranky, and realized that, I wasn't going to work that morning. So I had to start writing subplans for my classes and do all this 5 o'clock in the morning. Not terrible things happen. I was feeling okay about that and got a little extra sleep. Our younger son was feeling good, so I was able to take him to school and come home, and the older son continued to improve and actually was feeling pretty good throughout most of the day. However, about 1:30, I get a phone call from the younger son's school telling me that I need to come pick him up because he's not feeling well. And this actually continued for the remainder of the week with Tasha being gone. So I had to juggle that and getting subplans in. Definitely not what it was ideal going into the second to last week of school, but it was what it was. And we kind of just dealt with it. This normally isn't as big of a deal as it was last week because Tasha works from home and is able to stay home with the boys when they're not feeling good and still have to get her work done. However, just with the nature of what it was, a little more challenging. Now, this is not necessarily an extreme case of adversity compared to many other things that happen in our lives, but it was definitely a difficult situation trying to juggle all those different things. The real focus this week is how we respond to those causes of our adversity in our lives. We can choose to let the hard things run us down and make us unable to function, or we can take these difficult situations head on as an opportunity to grow from them. In today's society, we have many people facing very difficult situations that are consistently facing adversity, and they're not sure how to function and end up allowing it to affect them to a level that is far worse than the difficulty they are facing. As a society, I feel like we have been failing at teaching people how to effectively face adversity. We're not providing tools at a young age to help our children grow and be able to face adversities and be able to beat them. Instead of telling people not to worry about it or fixing it for them, we should be providing them tools to help them face adversity and be better prepared to face it as they continue to live their lives. I know there's some bigger things such as racism going on in our society that kind of are a little more challenging and not as straightforward as this. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about our day in and day out adversities we face within the workplace or within the school or within maybe relationships, things that we have to work at. And so those are the kind of things I'm really focusing with. So here's some kind of action steps that I feel could kind of help with facing adversity. Number one, acknowledge what you are facing and choose to push through it. So if you don't make that choice to push through it, you're going to let it affect you more negatively. Number two, embrace the adversity as an opportunity to grow. The goal of these videos is to always help us all become better ourselves, to grow into the person we are wanting to be. And therefore, you obviously, since you've been listening to these, are wanting to grow, and this is an opportunity for that. So really embrace that opportunity to grow. And then three, create an action plan for when you face adversity. Think of steps that you can go to when you are facing challenges. Maybe you write down the situation, you talk to a close person about the situation and what you're wanting to do, and choosing to not let the situation beat you. And 4, reflect on how you did and celebrate when you did well, or if you struggled, think about how you could have done better. I know this past week, we all survived in my family and nothing bad happened. So in spite of those difficulties, we rolled with the punches and came out just fine. So obviously we were able to work through those and face that adversity in a positive way. Finally, I'm going to leave you with a quote. The most successful people see adversity not as a stumbling block, but as a stepping stone to greatness. That was by Sean Archer. As always, if you have any questions or you would like to dialogue more about this topic or other topics, feel free to reach out or comment in the comments sections. I hope you have a great week and defeat it